What we know at this hour. At about 1:45 this Tuesday afternoon, the Loudoun County E911 Center received a call of an individual who had killed the family dog and was threatening to kill his father in the 11,000 block of Highway 11 East in Lenoir City. What you are seeing right now is a live view of the scene right now as Loudoun County Sheriff's deputies, along with the Blount County Sheriff's Department SWAT team, who are on the scene there at this house in the 11,000 block of Highway 11E in Lenoir City. Loudoun County Sheriff's deputies tell us that two people, not including the suspect, were in the house at the time. His father and someone else upstairs. Both that father and the person who was in the upstairs of the house were able to make it out safely. The Loudoun County Sheriff's Office have identified the person barricaded in the basement as Darian Farley. Our Sam Luther learned on his way down to Loudoun County that Farley used a hammer and a knife to kill the family's dog, and as of the last check, those were the two weapons that Farley was known to have in his possession as he's in the basement of, again, this house in the 11,000 block of Highway 11E in Lenoir City. If you're just joining us, you are looking at a live picture of this house on the 11,000 block of Highway 11E in Lenoir City, where police say that Darian Farley has barricaded himself in the family basement after killing the family dog with a hammer and knife and threatening to harm his father as well. As promised, our Sam Luther is at the scene. I ask him now to step into this shot so we can learn more details this afternoon. And again, there is our Sam Luther. Sam, just a few moments ago, you actually learned from Loudoun County Sheriff's deputies sort of how this situation unfolded.
Yeah, Will, before we get to that, I want to give you some info that we just got on the phone really during this live. The PIO officer here on scene, Zach Fry with the Sheriff's Office, told me to kind of be mindful of what's happening behind me right now, that they're about to attempt to make entry into this home. They asked us that we kind of stay off of some of the tighter shots, so if you're looking to get that shot right now, maybe bear with us, and we're going to continue to try to get the latest info, as again, they are attempting to make entry here really any minute now is when they're hoping to do it. In terms of strategies and tactics, they're attempting to make contact first by potentially sliding a phone under the door, because we understand right now communication has been limited with this 24-year-old barricading himself inside of the basement. But Will, going back to what you asked me just off the top there, this all started kind of after a broken heart, from what we're told. This 24-year-old had recently had a breakup with his girlfriend, and then had apparently accused his father of not giving him the same kind of attention that he had given the family dog. That's what the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office told me just a few minutes ago as to really why this all started. At that point, he then killed the family dog, and it's gruesome details, but with a hammer and a knife, from what we're told. He then was walking around the house threatening his own father with a knife, saying he was going to kill him. Thankfully, he was not harmed. The father and the one other person whose relationship we're still trying to figure out are now out of that home. They are comfortably away from this scene at this point. But again, this all started with an emotional distress, is what we're told by the Sheriff's Office, in conversations that the Sheriff's Office and these first responders have had with the family inside of this home. Again, the family dog, the only one injured or killed at this point, as again, this 24-year-old is still barricading himself inside the basement of this home. No word yet on if there's any sort of firearms. The father tells first responders and law enforcement that he does not have a gun, and that household does not have a weapon. But we're told that this son at 24 recently moved back into this house after living closer to the West Coast for a couple of years, and apparently going through, quote, an emotional distress at this time, all stemming from a relationship that ended, and apparently accusing the father of not giving him enough attention that he apparently gave an older family dog that has now been killed. Again, is what we're told right now by first responders. But we do want to be mindful of what's happening behind us. We're going to be sure to keep our ear to the ground, Will, as again, we're been told in the last 5 or so minutes that they are preparing to make entry here really any minute.
perspective, sort of what you are seeing right now on the ground? Like you said, officers are beginning to attempt to make entry into this home, and they asked us not to show that. But as far as traffic going on 11E, what should people expect to see as they actually start to probably get ready to head home for the day in that area?
Yeah, 11E, it's right here at the intersection, right where that sheriff's office is. So if you're familiar with the area, right there where the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office is where this has really all started taking place at this point. But if I could describe it in just a few words, it's tense. And you can tell by the officers that are directing traffic, telling you with no uncertain terms to go towards this house. Nobody's coming in and out of this area right now. And I get the sense that it doesn't matter entirely too much if you live around this area or not. This is very much kind of a closed scene at this point, as again, when you're dealing with SWAT and you're dealing with investigators that are preparing for all possibilities at this point. They're wanting to make sure that everyone's safe and as far away from this scene as possible, but will certainly a tense scene. I do want to mention again, 2 felony charges are going to be brought towards this 24-year-old. They're going through the court system right now to get them finalized, is what the sheriff's office tells me. A felony aggravated assault charge for threatening to kill his own father, and then a felony animal abuse charge for killing the family dog. That is the latest we know right now, as you still see some of these first responders, these police cars and sheriff's deputies and more investigators coming through this scene, trying to make sure it's secure and hopefully end this without further incident, Will.
That's our Sam Luther along Highway 11E in the 11,000 block in Lenoir City. Sam, thank you. We will go ahead and wrap this up for this time until anything else develops from the scene. Again, what we just learned from Sam, the new information here at about 3:23 on this Tuesday afternoon. 24-year-old Darian Farley, they're finalizing 2 felony charges for aggravated assault against his father after threatening to kill him with a knife and aggravated animal cruelty for killing the family dog. Loudoun County Sheriff's deputies tell our Sam Luther that they were told by the father that the son was, quote, emotionally distressed and had recently gone through a breakup, and accused the father of giving the family dog more attention than him. We're about half an hour away from our news starting at 4 o'clock on WVLT. We kindly ask you to join us then for more details, and of course stick here on all of WVLT's streaming sites and the WVLT News App and Facebook page for updated information as Loudoun County Sheriff's deputies now work to gain access into this home in the 11,000 block of Highway 11E in Lenoir City. Again, any and all details in this breaking news situation will bring you right here on all of our streaming platforms on Facebook and through the WVLT News app, and we'll see you here in just about half an hour on WVLT News starting at 4.